Welcome to NACTV Reads the News. My name is Gwen Jacobsen, and I'm one of many volunteers that help create programming for our station. NACTV can be seen on MTS Channel 30 or 1030, Westman Cable Channel 17, Bell Satellite Channel 592, or online at nactv.tv. These programs are made possible by our volunteers, staff, advertisers, as well as donations made by you, the viewers. If you are enjoying your NACTV experience, please consider supporting us by either donation or volunteering. You can contact our office at 204-476-2639 or at nactv@wcgwave.ca. All right, this week's edition of the Neepawa Banner and Press is dated Friday, March 8th, 2024. On the front page, there is a huge picture of someone holding a fish at Lake Irwin. They had a fishing derby there. The picture is of L. Picard, I think you say it, of Neepawa, caught this impressive 76 centimeter northern pike during the 11th annual Lake Irwin Classic near Neepawa on Saturday, March the 2nd. So the article is by Owen Devereaux. Anglers of all ages were in Neepawa over the weekend for the 11th annual Lake Irwin Classic. The fishing derby is staged each year by the Neepawa Wildlife Association, or NWA, and has turned into a favorite winter tradition for many in the area. This year's Lake Irwin Classic was another huge success, with 139 individuals out on the ice on Saturday, March 2nd, including 22 youth anglers. All of the youth who participated went home with brand new fishing rods and reels. As for the official results of the day, an impressive 98 northern pike were caught over the course of the 4-hour derby. This year's winners for the largest catch were as follows. First place, Terry Speece, 83 centimeters. Second place, Shannon Plett, 81 centimeters. Third place, Jesse Whitlaw, 80 centimeters. Fourth place, Kate Black, 80 centimeters. And fifth place, Bryce Caselny, 78.5 centimeters. And it has some additional results on the next page. The Terry Colasar Memorial Prize was also presented. This recognition is for the largest fish caught from a youth brother and sister tandem. This year's recipients were Dustin and Danica Friesen. Dustin came in first with 70 centimeter, and second place was Danica at 67.5 centimeters. The hidden length and time winners. For length, first place, Mackenzie Dillon, 55 centimeters, and second place for length, Pam Edwards at 75 centimeters. For first place in time, Ryan Miller at 10:17 a.m. Second place for time, Daphne Vasconcelos at 1:07 p.m. The smallest fish award was presented to James Wood for a hefty 21.5 centimeter pike. In their social media message after the derby had concluded, the Wildlife Association thanked everyone that braved the cold and participated in this year's Lake Irwin Classic. They also acknowledged all the club dedicated members that volunteered their time to make the event a success, as well as their local business sponsors. A listing of all the sponsors can be found on the Wildlife Association's Facebook page. And here we have a few other pictures from during the day at the lake. The 2024 edition of the Lake Irwin Classic featured 139 participants on the ice on Saturday, March 2nd, including 22 youth anglers. The youth who participated all went home with brand new fishing rods and reels. In total, 98 northern pike were caught over the course of the 4-hour derby. Oh, isn't that wonderful? Now, the Roxy Theatre, March 8th and 9th, this weekend, showtime at 7:30 p.m. And a March 10th matinee showtime at 2 p.m. It is called Ordinary Angels, inspired by the incredible true story of a hairdresser who single-handedly rallies an entire community to help a widowed father save the life of his critically ill daughter. And it is a general entrance for that. March 15th and 16th at 7:30 p.m. is a show called One Love. All right, we'll go back to that later. All right, we'll read out of on page 6, Helen Drysdale, out of Helen's Kitchen. This week, she features ginger. Ginger is a spice we are all familiar with. It flavors gingerbread houses, pumpkin pies, and ginger snap cookies. It is a staple in our spice rack. The rhizome, that's the underground part of the stem of ginger, has been cultivated in India and China since before historical records began. From there, it gradually spread around the world. The Portuguese introduced it to Africa, the Spanish took it to the West Indies, and by the 1500s, the Spanish had a flourishing ginger trade with Europe. Queen Elizabeth I, from 1533 to 1603, is given the credit for the now famous gingerbread men eaten at Christmas time. Fond of ginger, she asked her bakers to create gingerbread men in the forms of visiting diplomats and dignitaries, decorated with candies and real gold leaf. Fresh ginger root is used to its full potential in Asian cooking, where it is used in meat, fish, and vegetable dishes. Chopped, crushed, or thinly sliced, the pleasant spicy kick from the root of the ginger plant adds to many Asian meals. Ginger root also makes ginger ale, ginger tea, candies, and candied ginger, which is crystallized. Ginger was used as a medicine since ancient times. It was the Pepto-Bismol of the day, used for upset stomachs, constipation, colic, and more. It comes highly recommended for people suffering from acid reflux. I love pieces of candied ginger finely chopped and folded into the muffin, loaf, or cookie batter as they add bursts of gingery flavor. Unpeeled ginger should be stored in the vegetable crisper section of the refrigerator. Wrapped in a paper bag, it will last for up to a week. For longer storage, tightly wrap in a plastic bag, and the ginger will last for up to 1 month. A sign of freshness when buying ginger root is firm flesh. The length of the root is a sign of maturity, and longer roots will be hotter and more fibrous. Ground ginger is best in baking and fresh ginger in cooking. I do not buy the pre-packaged ginger tea anymore. I will make the fresh, fuss-free version. Steeping ginger tea from the fresh ginger root will surprise you with how easy it is to make. You take a 2-inch piece of fresh ginger, peel it, cut it into thin slices. Put the slices in a teapot. Pour in 3 or 4 cups of boiling water, add 1 to 2 tablespoons honey to taste, and let the ginger steep for at least 10 minutes, and then enjoy it. And she has 3 ginger recipes. The first one is a stir-fry ginger chicken, ginger cookies, and the last one is a fruit salad with ginger. So sometimes we have pictures from the Beautiful Plains Museum history book. This week there's one that features the Martin family. Pictured here are a couple more photos from the Gus Martin collection of the Beautiful Plains Museum in Neepawa. So this person is Gus Martin and his granddaughters, pictured at Vancouver, BC in 1948. The names of his granddaughters were not available in the album. And here is a picture of a portion of a scenic shot of that was also found in the Gus Martin collection. Rural outlook. We have some pictures from the Westbourne Open Bonspiel. So the Westbourne Open Curling Bonspiel was held March 1st to 3rd and was a great success despite storm warnings for most of the weekend. A huge thank you goes out to the planning committee, volunteers, curlers, and spectators who came out for the weekend to enjoy all the festivities. Lots of laughs were had and memories made from the great food, rhinestone cowboy costume contest, to the overall great curling. Winners of the curling bonspiel were So we have Southpaw Egg Services A event. Joe Leslie was the skip, Morgan Mans, Craig Mans, and Michelle Leslie. That's this group. Suregrove Farm Services B event. This is Wade Duchak, the skip, Tim Davey, Kyle Duchak, and Clark Murray. The Richardson Pioneer C event. We have Jason Heeman, the skip, Keith Maxwell, Cassandra Clark, and Aaron Butterfield. That's this group here. So congratulations to you guys. Wow, now we have some great pictures from the Neepawa Middle School Science Fair. The Neepawa Middle School was full of scientific exploration on February the 28th. That day, the middle school students gathered in the gym and multipurpose room to showcase their own experiments as part of a science fair. This was the first science fair in Neepawa since 2019 and featured 63 grade 5 projects and 14 grade 8 projects. The projects were reviewed by a series of judges, some of which were school staff, while others were high school students. The top projects also earned the opportunity to move on to the Western Manitoba Science Fair. So in this picture, we have the teacher, Ms. Johnson, checking in with grade 8 students Vaishnavi Patel and Princess Dela Cruz. Looks like, does 2 different types of soil change the growth of the bean? That'd be interesting. And here we have grade 5 student Andrea Rosales with his project, The Power of Molding. And here we have grade 5 student Mitchell Weeb and his experiment, the Orbeez operation. Weeb's was one of the handful of projects to receive a gold medal. Here we have grade 8 student Vinzer Waniza making adjustments as she and her colleagues explored the illuminating power of potatoes. And here we have a portion of the jam-packed science fair area. Many rows of presentations were available for perusal. Boy, that brings back memories. All right, auto insurance runaround frustrates Neepawa driver by Owen Devereaux. When an automobile insurance company and a customer don't see eye to eye, more often than not, it's the driver that ends up feeling frustrated at the end of the day. That's exactly what Henry Reimer of Neepawa appears to be feeling right now as he waits and waits and waits for some type of resolution to his auto accident claim. In mid-November, Reimer states that he had a run-in, literally, with nature as he said a deer struck the passenger side of his truck, a 2023 Ford F-150 Tremor. The accident occurred just a few kilometers east of town. After taking several pictures of the damaged vehicle and the animal that he states struck it, Reimer put a claim with Manitoba Public Insurance. He said since that initial contact with the insurer, almost immediately after the accident, it's been a slow process. I tried to speak with someone that same day, on hold, on hold, on hold. I couldn't get through. The next day it took 4 hours to get through, said Reimer. After finally speaking with someone to open a claim, Reimer forwarded the pictures of the accident and received a claim number. A week later, he said he received a call with an unfortunate update. A week later, they called me and said that they couldn't give me insurance on it right now. They could give me insurance if I took the fault because they didn't think the cause of the damage was a deer. From there began a back and forth between the two sides that has continued to this day. Reimer told the Banner and Press another frustrating part of the process has been that all of this has been handled through telephone conversations as opposed to having a claims adjuster actually look at the vehicle. They'd just look at the pictures and everything else and then phone back for another review, stated Reimer. Then, the middle of January, another interview. More questions, and I explained it again, and once again, it was the same response. We'll get back to you. This process has now almost hit the 4-month mark with no clear resolution. I've got to get out there. We're all having problems collecting insurance. There is dishonest people trying to work the system. I understand where the insurer is coming from, but with the time and place and the pictures and the details provided, it shouldn't be like this. Reimer concluded that he's hoping for some action because the vehicle is on a lease. So at this point in time, he's paying for something he can't even drive. I can't go get it fixed because they haven't settled. I could get it repaired, but it would go against my license. But I said it's a deer. I don't want marks on my drivers, said Reimer. I did everything I was supposed to do. My vehicle just continues to sit with nobody doing anything. It just feels as though this just keeps getting pushed down the road. And here's the picture of Henry Reimer's damaged truck and the deer that he says was the cause of the damage. And you can't tell, the viewers probably can't see this, but this deer has a pretty good rack of antlers on it that could cause a lot of damage. All right, next, great day for pancakes in Kelwood, submitted by the Neepawa Banner and Press. On Saturday, February 17th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Kelwood Playground and Wellness Committee served up a delicious pancake breakfast. The event was hosted as part of continuing efforts to raise funds for the construction of new washrooms, complete with an RV waste station at the Kelwood campground. It was a great turnout. Over 60 tickets were sold. Each came with 3 pancakes, 3 sausages, fresh orange slices, juice, coffee, or tea. Thanks to Neepawa Co-op for donating the tasty oranges. Customers loved the breakfast, and it was a great way to spend the afternoon on a most beautiful winter day. How often can you get a great tasting breakfast for just $10? The best part of the whole day was seeing the community gather with smiling faces in support of the project, which will benefit the town as well as visitors to the area. The Kelwood Playground and Wellness Committee both hosted and cooked the breakfast at the Kelwood Community Center. Lynn Wetherall, President, Alexis Dick, Vice President, Jody Fraser, Treasurer, and Andrea Haynes, Secretary. Also, a huge thank you to the event volunteers, Esther Engbrecht, Bob and Kathy Angst, Neil Fraser, and Doug Wood. The Kelwood Playground and Wellness Community is ramping up fundraising with a plan to get the project underway as soon as possible. The next event on the committee's calendar is a spaghetti dinner on April the 6th. To keep track of the project and future fundraising events, please follow the group's page on Facebook. Thanks to all who came out for breakfast and for the donations made in support. Now we have a page of Carberry news. First, Carberry represented at 2024 Skate Manitoba by Jolene Belsunis, Local Journalism Initiative. Carberry skaters traveled to Altona this past weekend to participate in the 2024 Skate Manitoba Provincial Championship. Ella Baker walked away as the provincial champion. Congratulations on all your hard work. Skaters listed below in order they skated. Briar Renwick, silver ribbon in Star 1 Elements. Letty Allen, silver ribbon in Star 2 Elements and silver ribbon in Star 2 Free Skate. Kinley Smart, silver ribbon in Star 2 Elements and gold ribbon in Star 2 Free Skate. Jacina Llewellyn, silver ribbon in Star 2 Elements, silver ribbon in Star 2 Free Skate, and silver ribbon in Creative Improv. Riley Eli, silver ribbon in Star 3 Elements and silver ribbon in Star 3 Free Skate. Jaden Weeb, silver ribbon in Star 3 Elements and silver ribbon in Star 3 Free Skate. Abby Reynolds, bronze ribbon in Star 3 Elements and silver ribbon in Star 3 Free Skate. Casey Burt, bronze ribbon in Star 3 Free Skate. And Ella Baker, the gold medal for Star 5 Free Skate Provincial Champion. Ella Baker and Callie Barron also received a silver medal for their Synchro Blades United team. They competed in Star 8 Synchro. Next, Carberry curler Kelsey Rock. This is Kelsey Rock and her team. Carberry has deep roots in the sport of curling and has celebrated many local curlers. During big bonspiels, many of the town's residents are glued to their TVs, and the talk around town is all about the latest curling scores and matches. During last weekend's Scotties, we were proud to be cheering on one of our newest community members. Kelsey Rock met Braden Calvert at the World Juniors and moved out to join him in Carberry 2 years ago. Kelsey grew up in Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta, and started curling at age 13. Curling became a passion for her at a young age. The sport has brought her many rewards and a close-knit community. Kelsey, two-time World Junior Champion skip, was picked up by Team Cameron for the 2024 Scott Tournament of Hearts in Calgary to replace expecting second Taylor McDonald. Rock, who plays third for Assiniboine's Beth Peterson, was called to fill in. Rock, a former skip out of Alberta who used to play with McDonald, after a 9-8 loss to Caitlin Laws in the provincial final, Kelsey was eager for the opportunity. Kelsey is currently practicing out of Winnipeg and joins Braden in mixed doubles here in Carberry. She is enjoying curling locally at the Carberry curling rink for our women's curling team and has plans to become involved with our junior curlers. Kelsey and Braden will be wed here in Carberry in June, and she is looking forward to their upcoming social. Welcome to Carberry, Kelsey. We hope to be cheering you on for many years to come. And still in sports, Neepawa hosts, I'll go back to Carberry Garden Club seeks to establish seed library. The Carberry Garden Club was started last spring and hosted speakers on no-till gardening and vermicomposting. A Carberry and Area Community Foundation grant was awarded in the spring of 2023 to purchase a cabinet to start a seed library. A seed library is a community effort to offer no-cost seeds to those starting out gardening or for seasoned gardeners to share seeds and introduce new varieties. Borrowing from the seed library is free and easy to use and open to all members of the public. Learning to save seeds through the garden club, books, or online to save on gardening expenses and offers a way to help the community by donating back to the seed library. When you save seeds, you develop seed stock perfectly suited to your growing conditions, preserve heritage, and save money. By contributing to the community seed library, you help create a culture of sustainability and self-reliance in our community. The Carberry Garden Club offers education and an opportunity to chat about gardening during our long winters. The Seed Library was started by Jolene Balciunas and Laurie McNevin as a way to connect gardeners in our community. The next garden club is March the 16th at the Carberry North Cypress Library from 1 to 3 p.m. and all are welcome. Neepawa hosts AAA Provincial Basketball Qualifier. Neepawa Area Collegiate hosted the MJHL AAA Provincial Basketball Qualifier March 1st and 2nd. The tournament featured 8 clubs from around the province. In Neepawa's opening match-up, they were bested by the Neelan Spartans 85-50. That placed the Tigers in the consolation bracket, where they were defeated by St. John's Ravenscourt 58-48. Due to the incoming weekend storm, the championship final between Neelan and the Churchill Bulldogs had to be suspended. Remaining games will be played out as directed by the MHSAA. All right, here we have a page on safely managing multiple medications. It's a Pharmacy Appreciation Month. Individuals who are 60 and older are accustomed to making routine trips to the pharmacy to fill prescriptions. In fact, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention notes that roughly 84% of adults between the ages of 60 and 79 use one or more prescription medications. Prescription medications prolong individuals' lives and can make their daily lives more comfortable and manageable. As individuals age, their doctors may recommend various prescriptions, some of which they may need to take long-term. Managing multiple medications at once can be difficult, as it can be easy to lose track of which medications have been taken when individuals are prescribed more than one. In recognition of that difficulty, the National Institutes of Health offers the following tips to help individuals safely manage multiple medications. First, maintain an updated list of all medications you take. The NIH notes a medication list should include both prescription and over-the-counter medications. OTC medicines include vitamins, that's over-the-counter medicines, include vitamins, supplements, and herbal products. 2, share your medication list with family or close friends. A medication list should be accessible, and seniors can even share it with close family members who can then advise medical professionals like EMTs, nurses, and emergency room doctors which medications you are taking in emergency situations when you may not be conscious. 3, routinely review your medicine list with healthcare providers and pharmacists. The NIH recommends individuals discuss their medicines with their physicians during each appointment. Ask if all medicines still need to be taken and if dosages should be changed. When visiting specialists, be sure to provide a list of all medications you are currently taking. 4. Ask questions about newly prescribed medications. Drug interactions can be dangerous, so it's important to ask if and how any newly prescribed medications may interact with drugs, vitamins, or supplements you are already taking. 5. Alert healthcare providers to any new side effects. Immediately contact your physician if any new side effects present. The NIH recommends individuals continue to take their medications until their doctor says otherwise. Number 6, use a pill organizer. A pill organizer makes it easy to manage multiple medications and can help individuals remember which pills they have taken. Millions of individuals, 60 and older, take more than one medicine each day. Some simple strategies can ensure seniors safely manage their medications. Now, also about pharmacies, new ownership announced for Neepawa Pharmacy by Owen Devereaux. Over the last 19 years, Heather Segway has had a goal of providing outstanding pharmacy care and support, but now she is adding a new goal, that of being the owner and manager of a business which maintains that same type of community commitment. Effective March 29th, Segway will be taking over the day-to-day operations of Neepawa Pharmacy, located at 225 Ellen Street. The store will be closed for 3 days over the Easter weekend to allow for some cosmetic changes, including new signage and restock of products before reopening on April the 1st under new ownership and with a new name, Super Thrifty Neepawa Pharmacy. Super Thrifty was first started in Brandon in 1977 by John Allen and a partnership of local shareholders. It began with stores in Brandon, Hamiota, and Rivers, but expanded over the years to Verdun, Dauphin, St. Rose de Lac, The Pas, Morris, Selkirk, and Melita. To this day, Super Thrifty Drugs Canada employs over 200 people and remains amongst only a handful of independently owned pharmacy chains left in Canada. Its mandate remains that of not only serving their communities, but being an active and positive partner within those communities. As for Heather Segway and her partnership with Super Thrifty on this new endeavor in Neepawa, she told the Banner and Press there was a lot of thought that went into this monumental decision. She said, "I was flattered to be approached to act as manager of the new Super Thrifty Neepawa Pharmacy location. After considering my professional goals and how I wanted to continue to work in the Neepawa area, I chose to accept the offer. I struggled to decide between pushing myself professionally and enjoying the places I had worked. Ultimately, I found I would live with regret if I didn't give this opportunity a chance. So that's when I accepted the offer. It gives me the opportunity to be more available to my family and create a pharmacy space that I can be proud of." Segway enters into this new challenge with a wealth of experience. She is a graduate of the University of Manitoba with a Bachelor of Science in Pharmacy. Segway has also been practicing community-based pharmacy for 19 years, with 17 of those in Neepawa and surrounding area. She has continued to advance her knowledge over those years, training for administering injections, prescribing for self-limiting conditions, mental health, first aid training, and much more. In the spring, Sagwe will also be taking an exam to become a registered Canadian diabetes educator. As for what this change means to Sagwe on a personal level, it ensures that she can maintain the connection that's been so well established between her and local patients for over all those years. I wouldn't say I left school with the goal of managing a pharmacy, but as I have worked in this profession, I have come to love interacting with patients and making connections. It is rewarding to watch patients face adversity and become healthier with pharmacy support. Super Thrifty is allowing me to choose how I want to continue to support patients as an accessible part of the healthcare team. I will have the opportunity to stay in one place and concentrate on my patients. Right now, I am setting a goal for myself to build a pharmacy that makes our community stronger and of which I can be proud. So this is, right as of now, the Neepawa Pharmacy that's located right across from the Safeway. And so that is going to turn into a Super Thrifty. This is a picture of Heather. And this is a picture of Heather's and her family, her husband and her 2 little boys and a little girl. So good luck with that endeavor, Heather. Next, we have an article on the Neepawa Titans Cash Lottery. We need a smashing success. Spring is lottery season, and this year is no exception. The Neepawa Titans Junior A Hockey Club Lottery is underway. Ticket sales are moving along pretty well, and the ticket purchase deadline is March 22nd. The annual team lottery is the single largest fundraiser for the team. The grand prize is $20,000, with 5 prizes of $1,000 and a 50-50 draw. Titans team president Jamie Dembo said the Titans are proud to be operating in our 35th season in Neepawa and looking forward to next year's 36th playing season, but we need this lottery to be a smashing success in order to do so. COVID, followed by inflation, have increased the costs to run a team dramatically, making this lottery the most critical lottery ever. Dembo noted, our sincere thanks to those that have already purchased and our invitation to those who have yet to do so to get out there and buy your ticket. It's a great way to support your team while giving yourself a good chance to win some significant cash. Board members, staff, and players have been selling tickets in person and by phone calls. Team players started making calls last week, and the team office received some very important feedback. A couple of customers noted that the players doing the phoning were a bit shy about making cold calls. The customers really appreciated getting a personal call. Said one customer, it's a great opportunity for the players to make these kinds of calls. It's good that the team gives them that experience. Fundraising is an essential part of a junior hockey team's income, as traditionally 25% or less of a team's income comes from admission and season ticket sales. The Neepawa Titans generates between $2.5 to $3 million in economic activity each year in the community. Over the last 10 years alone, the Titans have paid between $300,000 and $350,000 in ice rental to the Yellowhead Arena, making the Titans the largest team ice rental at Neepawa's Yellowhead Arena. The Titans games account for a high percentage of all sales at the Red Line Grill, the arena's restaurant, and a very large percentage of the sales at the Blue Line Bar. Now we have another beautiful Plains Museum picture, curling equipment. Let's see if I can get this. This photo provides a look at early curling equipment. 2 variations of early curling stones can be seen here. Oh, here. The one on the left here is a wooden stone and something closer to more modern stones on the top. Wooden stones were used predominantly in Upper Canada until the more conventional stones were available. Behind the stones rests a pair of curling brooms, which are quite different from the brooms used in modern day curling that have been specialized for the sport. The wood trunk perfectly fits 2 curling stones for somewhat easier transport. This equipment is part of a sports display at the Beautiful Plains Museum in Neepawa. Now we have some more on sports. Ken Pearson wins 600th MJHL game, only the 4th head coach in league history to reach the milestone. By Owen Devereaux. Ken Pearson achieved a very rare and historic coaching milestone over the weekend, winning his 600th regular season game in the Manitoba Junior Hockey League. With a 4-1 win over Swan Valley on Friday, March the 1st, the Neepawa Titans head coach and general manager became only the 4th coach in MJHL history to hit that milestone, along with Don McGillivray, Doug Stokes, and Blake Spiller. After concluding his playing career with the Neepawa Natives back in 1994, Pearson immediately transitioned into a role behind the bench as an assistant coach with the club for the next 2 years before taking over the same role with the Winkler Flyers in 1996. As a head coach, Pearson's career has included tenures in Winkler from 97 to 2002, 2011 to 2018, and Winnipeg 2004 to 2008, and then Neepawa 2019 to the present. He has also been a coach in both the Alberta and Saskatchewan Junior Hockey Leagues, as well as an assistant coach and scout in the Western Hockey League. His greatest successes, though, have been in Manitoba. Reflecting back on this incredible achievement, Pearson noted that hitting that number with the organization he started his junior career with made the moment just that much more special. As for reaching the 600 win mark, Pearson was quick to acknowledge the 3 coaches he's joined in this exclusive club. He said, "It is very humbling and exciting to be able to join those 3 men. Doug Stokes I played against when I was in Neepawa, then had the chance to coach against and with him. Blake Spiller is the all-time winningest coach who has a ton of championships and always makes you work and be on top of your game when you play Portage. Don McGillivray, well, he's a man who I owe everything I have been able to accomplish as a coach. He was my coach in Neepawa when I was 20. Then the next year he gave me the chance to stay with the organization as an assistant coach. He is a great mentor and friend who to this day always checks in to see how things are going, even while he's busy with his own club in Calgary," stated Pearson. As for what continues to energize Pearson after all the years and has him looking ahead to win 601 and beyond, he said, "What motivates him is the players. They help keep you young, and as I tell them, junior hockey is the best time of their lives. The fire and desire to win that next game still burns. So as long as that is still happening, I will continue to coach." So we have a couple of pictures here of Ken. So here are his totals. With the Winkler team, he had 370 wins. With the Winnipeg team, he had 149 wins. And with Neepawa so far, 81 wins, combining to make 600 career MJHL wins. Now, along with the Junior A Hockey Club, the Neepawa Ag Expo is going to be having an online timed auction on from April the 3rd to April the 5th, 2024, Team up with Neepawa Ag Expo to get your products and services promoted on a local and national scale. The proceeds from this auction will go towards the Neepawa Titans Junior A Hockey Club, and 10% of auction proceeds will be donated to the Beautiful Plains Agricultural Society. Convenient and easy bidding on the timed auction will be powered by DLMS Farmgate Timed Auctions. For more information or to book a spot, contact Matt Lowry at 204-841-2389, Cam Tibbett 204-841-3060, or Scott Newton 204-841-4227. And still on the Neepawa Titans, playoff hopes coming down to the wire. Neepawa Titans and Sakapo battling for final playoff spot by Owen Devereaux. The Neepawa Titans are heading into the final few weeks of the 2023-24 MJHL campaign with a realistic shot to make the playoffs. Unfortunately, those final games for Neepawa will be against some of the top teams in the league, who all have something left to play for. As for Tuesday, March 5th, the Titans had played 52 of their 58 games and had a 25-26-1 record. The team played a game in Portage. Actually, that game was in Portage was postponed because of the storm, the winter storm. The rest of the schedule includes difficult opponents in the form of the Steinbach Pistons, Winkler Flyers, Dauphin Kings, and Ocean Blizzard. So it'll also be the Portage Terriers. The only easy game on the schedule is in Winnipeg against the Blues, though in the MJHL, no team is a guaranteed win anymore. Hot on the heels of Neepawa in the standings are the Sakapo Wolverines with a 22-26-1-3, 48 points. So we're only 3 points ahead of Wayway with 6 games remaining. Their schedule includes a pair versus Steinbach, as well as single games against Verdun, Ocean, and Swan Valley. The Wolverines also have one makeup game with Selkirk Steelers. From a points perspective, Neepawa still has its own destiny in its hands, but will most definitely have to finish strong to assure postseason play. Neepawa was able to help itself with a 4-1 home win over the Swan Valley Stampeders on Friday, March 1st. The game, for the most part, was an impressive team effort for the Titans, who dominated the majority of the evening. Neepawa opened the scoring with their very first shot of the game as Carter McLeod was fed a pass from behind the net and put away his 13th goal of the season. Then in the second period, Caden Haggerty and Ty Shell each contributed to the lead to give the one side a 3-0 lead after 40 minutes of play. Logan Paquette would add one more 3 minutes and 21 seconds into the third period to make it 4-0 for the Titans. Swan Valley fought back with a late game power play goal from Darius Max, but that was not enough as the Neepawa Titans earned their 25th win of the year in a 4-1 final. The next evening, Neepawa traveled down the Trans-Canada to Verdun to face the Oil Capitals, who have 80 points. They are in first place. Though the Titans have paired up very well against the Oil Capitals over the course of the season, it was Verdun who proved to be the stronger squad in this night, winning 4-2. Ty Shell and Tim Taconic scored for Neepawa on this night. The final 2 home games for Neepawa include a showdown with the Dauphin Kings on Friday, March 8th, and the last game of the season on March 17th against the Blizzard. So in each of the Western and Eastern Division, the first 3 teams on each division have clinched playoff spots. Verdun, Blizzard, and Dauphin in the Western, and in the Eastern it's Steinbach, Winkler, and Portage. So we still have to figure out who the fourth placed teams will be. So come out to Neepawa March 8th, Friday, March 8th at 7:30 against Dauphin to cheer on the Titans. Still with sports, Gladstone Lakers upset Minnedosa at Tiger Hills Hockey League playoffs. The Gladstone Lakers staged an impressive comeback to win their best-of-5 playoff matchup against the Minnedosa Bombers over the weekend. The Lakers won the final 2 games of the series, including a 5-3 result in Minnedosa on Saturday, March 2nd. After falling by identical 6-2 scores to the Bombers in games 2 and 3, the Lakers started their climb back into the series with a 6-2 win of their own at home on March 1st. Kobe Campbell and Connor Grunston both scored in the early portion of the opening period to make it 2-0. Then, a few minutes into the second, Gladstone's Jesse Toth contributed with one more, which would eventually turn out to be the game winner for the home side. Wes Lewis replied for Minnedosa with an unassisted goal just 28 seconds later, but Jory Geddes returned the Lakers' lead to 3 close to the halfway mark of the period. For the third period, Campbell scored once again, as did J.C. Kennedy, to provide Gladstone with a comfortable 6-1 lead. Patrick Contretout would score late for Minnedosa, but that would be all for the night, as the Lakers were victorious by a 6-2 score. The fifth and deciding game in this series would be staged in Minnedosa on Saturday, March the 2nd. In this win or go home scenario, a massive offensive effort in the second period pushed Gladstone to the eventual 5-3 win. The Lakers scored 4 of the 5 goals in the middle frame, including a pair just 20 seconds apart in the final 35 seconds of the period. Earlier in the game, Minnedosa opened the scoring as Shane Jury made it 1-0 for the home team in the first period. Gladstone's Jesse Toth and Lyndon Soper both scored in the second before Tyler Jury replied for the Bombers and made it 2-2. It seemed as though that's what the score would be heading into the third period, before Connor Grunston scored on a last-minute chance for Gladstone. Before Minnedosa was even able to emotionally register this goal, the Lakers scored again as Sean Kubis notched one with 15 seconds remaining until intermission. This quick reversal of fortune had Gladstone feeling confident heading into the last 20 minutes of regulation. J.C. Kennedy would add another for the Lakers only 1 minute 29 into the period off a power play chance to make it a 5-2 score. Wes Lewis picked up a goal on the power play for Minnedosa with 5 minutes 18 seconds left in the game. But that would not be enough, as the Lakers stunned the Minnedosa faithful with the game and series victory. Gladstone now moves on to challenge the East Division's top-seeded club, the Killarney Shamrocks. Game 1 has been scheduled for Thursday, March 7th in Killarney. As for Game 2, it will be played in Gladstone on Saturday, March 9th. Opening face-off in Gladstone is set for 8 p.m. Meanwhile, in the Western Division, the Minnesota Elkhorn Seahawks will take on the Verdun Oil Kings. The Seahawks advanced with a 3-0 series win over Hartney, while Verdun needed a full 5-game series before besting the Rivers Jets. Neepawa Figure Skating Club results. The Neepawa Figure Skating Club, or the NFSC, has had a successful year of competitions. Some of our skaters attended the Verdun Fun Skate in January. In the Star 2 event, Sophie brought home a silver ribbon, while Sydney Wolf earned a bronze ribbon. In the Star 3 event, Leighton Sislak earned a bronze ribbon. In the Star 4 event, over 13 Flight A, Ava Wahoski placed 7th, while in Flight B, McKenna Sumner placed 4th, and Ivory Gehring placed 7th. Amber Wachowski won the silver medal in the gold artistic event. NFSC's skaters attended the Skate Manitoba Winter Blast in February. In Star 3 free skate, Bailey Prodruski earned a bronze ribbon. In the Star 4 free skate over 13 event Flight A, Ava Wachowski won a silver medal. In the Star 4 free skate over 13 Flight B, McKenna Sumner placed 4th, while Ivory Gearing placed 7th. McKenna Sumner won the bronze medal in Star 5 artistic, and Amber Wachowski won bronze in the gold artistic. At Provincials in Morden in March, Alyssa Nadeau earned a 4th place finish in the Star 5 artistic. In the Star 4 over 13 event, Ashley Nadeau placed 4th, while Alyssa Nadeau placed 6th. NFSC members Jaden Defoe, Bailey Prodruski, and Annika Shepper skate on the Blades United Synchro team. This team won a gold medal at Verdun Fun Skate and silver medals at Winter Blast and Provincials. The Neepawa Figure Skating Club is now preparing for the annual year-end ice show. This year's theme is the NFSC TS Eras show and will include skates from Can Skate, Senior Can Skate, Star Skaters with special guests Blades United Synchro team. The March Ice Show will be held on Friday, March 15th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Yellowhead Center. Admission will be a silver collection and a food donation to the local Salvation Army. Our skaters are super excited to perform all their Taylor Swift programs, so come on out to support them. And here we have a picture of the Neepawa Darts competing at Provincials. The Manitoba Provincials Youth Darts Championship saw Zone 3 assert their dominance, thanks to Sports Manitoba and MLL for contributing to the triumph of this event, which took place at West Kildonan Legion, Winnipeg on February 25th. Results for the senior boys are as follows. Ethan Orvis, champion from Kinnesota. Hunter Oleschuk, silver from Alonza. And Jermaine Maglante, a bronze from Neepawa. Junior boys. Jason Maglante, bronze from Neepawa. And Nicosa Antoine, bronze from Neepawa. Senior girls. Karel Bunda, champion from Neepawa. Keisha Bunda, silver from Neepawa. Good luck to the upcoming Youth Canadian National Darts Championships, which this year will be held from May 16th to the 19th in Saint Hyacinthe, Quebec. Photo. The photo we have here is Karen Bunda, the coach, Germaine Bangalente, a bronze, Jason Mangalante, a bronze, Ethan Orbis, a gold, Hunter Oleschuk, a silver, Nicosa Antoine, a bronze, Keisha Bunda, a silver, Karel Bunda, Youth Director, Manitoba Darts Association, Inc. Oh boy. Okay, still with hockey. NACI Tigers sweep first round series by Owen Devereaux. The Neepawa Tigers made quick work of their first round playoff opponents in the Westman High School Hockey League, or the WHSHL, sweeping the GCB Wildcats 2-0. The Tigers started the series off strong at home on February 28th, winning 7-1. The scoring for Neepawa was a genuine team effort as 7 different players collected goals. Riley Davey and Lincoln Murray started it all off in the first period with goals for NACI, while Cohen Kalbaki was the lone scorer in the second. The Tigers had several other chances to add to their lead, but were stopped by Wildcats goaltender Sawyer Wiebe, who ended up making 43 saves in the game. In the third, GCB had some hope as they scored 4 minutes and 48 seconds into the final period. Griffin Anderson put away that opportunity for the evicting Wildcats to make it a 3-1 score. They were only able to hold off Neepawa's scoring surge for so long, as the Tigers would put away 4 goals in the final 9 minutes and 59 seconds of the period to make it a 7-1 final. Hayden Delalloy, Carson Baker, Brody Pollock, and Ryland Bray all notched goals for the Tigers. Neepawa would close out the first round with a dominant effort in Carberry on March the 1st, shutting out the Wildcats 8-0. The Tigers scored what would eventually be the game-winning goals just 54 seconds into the first period off a Riley Davey opportunity. Davey would score his second of the night and third of the postseason a little later in the first to make it a 2-0 score. Neepawa had itself another quick goal in the second as Brody Pollock took advantage of a chance only 22 seconds into the period. A few minutes later, Ryland Bray added to Neepawa's lead, and it would be a 4-0 score heading into the final period. For the last 20 minutes of play, the Tigers would add 4 more goals, with 3 of those on a power play. Tarek Lapointe, Lincoln Murray, and Lance Murray all scored in succession with the extra attacker. Daniel Lissaway closed out the scoring with 1 more even-strength marker to make it an 8-0 final score. Harley Smith-Belisle registered the shutout for NACI with 23 saves in net. The Neepawa Tigers advanced to the WHSHL semifinals, where they will next face the Dauphin Clippers. In the regular season, those 2 teams played one another twice, with the Tigers winning both games. One of those games, however, was a close one, with Neepawa winning in a shootout. As for the other semifinal, Vincent Massey will face the HRES Huskies. So here's the NACI, some of the members of the team. They were presented with the President's Award banner just before their playoff game against the GCB Wildcats. The banner is in recognition of Neepawa having the best record in the regular season. And here we have a picture of Neepawa's Ryland Bray, who was named the top defenseman in the WHSHL for the year 23-24. Bray closed out the regular season with 58 points, 24 goals, and 34 assists. This is the second year in a row that a member of the NACI earned the honor, as Ward Brister won the award last season. Opinion, Hard to be Green While in the Red, by Cam Dahl of the Manitoba Port Council. I did not come up with the line, hard to be green while in the red, but I wish I had. It is a succinct phrase describing one of the most challenging policy aspects of sustainability. It is difficult or even impossible to change farming practices aimed at improving environmental sustainability when experiencing negative margins. The idea applies to every business. Even though this policy truism seems obvious, it is not always recognized by governments. Government's most frequent policy tool is regulation. Imposing costly restrictions and penalties on businesses, it is often the default action. It should not be. Take the carbon tax, for example. The stated policy objective is to reduce carbon emissions by discouraging the use of fossil fuels. This may work when the use of fossil fuels is a discretionary expense, but heating a hog barn in winter is not discretionary. For hog farmers, energy costs are the second highest operating expense after feed. At a time when farmers' margins are written in ink, The carbon tax is making it more expensive to raise pigs. This is antithetical to the policy objective of reducing greenhouse gas emissions, because farmers are more likely to take on innovative business practices when their operation is profitable. The carbon tax has become a barrier to adoption of innovation that could improve environmental sustainability. The carbon tax is also making Canadian hog farmers less competitive internationally. Manitoba exports 90% of the pigs raised in the province every year, either as live animals exported to the United States or as packages of pork exported around the world. Canadian farmers are competing against producers in other countries who do not face the added cost of the carbon tax. The reduction in our competitiveness impacts jobs in both urban and rural areas, which in Manitoba equals 22,000 jobs across the province, and discourages investment in every link of the industry's value chain. So to summarize, when applied to the energy requirements for raising pigs, the carbon tax does not achieve its policy goals, and it inhibits the adoption of alternative business practices that may improve sustainability, all while decreasing the competitiveness of Canadian farmers in world markets. The cost and ineffectiveness of the carbon tax when applied to farming operations was recognized by the Member of Parliament MP who introduced Bill C-234, an act to amend the Greenhouse Gas Pollution Pricing Act. This legislation, which is supported by a majority of MPs, would remove the carbon tax from essential agricultural operations like heating a barn in winter. Unfortunately, the Senate has disagreed and amended the legislation removing the reference to barn heating. How much will this change cost Canadian farmers? The Parliamentary Budget Officer estimates this cost to be $910 million annually. There is a better way. Not all government policy objectives need to be met using a regulatory hammer, and is being done with the carbon tax. Instead, governments should be adopting an incentive-based approach. The alternative policy approach is one that is rooted in collaboration with farmers and accepting that financial sustainability for producers must be at the foundation of any strategy. The collaborative approach may not appear to be the easy path to take for those who are charged with implementing government policy. Canada is a large, diverse country, and innovative practices that drive fiscal and environmental sustainability in Quebec or the Maritimes or British Columbia may not work on the prairies. There must be enough flexibility in approach to account for differences in climate, soils, ecosystems across Canada. Provincial and local governments need to be engaged when determining which new practices and technology will work in a specific region. While this may sound messy and complicated when compared to a one-size-fits-all regulation, in the long run, incentives and collaborations instead of costly regulations will deliver meaningful results. The federal carbon tax is set to increase again on April the 1st. If this happens, Canadian farmers will be a little less competitive internationally and see a little bit more red ink on the bottom line. It does not have to be this way. Now here we have pictures enjoying a winter treat. The black-capped chickadees were enjoying a snack at a bird feeder in the rural municipality of Glenella, Lansdowne recently. Those are cute pictures. Neepawa locals compete at Irish Dance Championships. On February 17th to the 19th, Charlie and Felix Carefoot traveled to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to compete in the CRN North American Open Irish Dance Championships. Charlie and Felix danced very well, placing in many of their individual dances. On February 18th, Felix danced in the Bungrid Award and placed first receiving the title of CRN National Award winner. So here is a picture of Felix standing on the podium with his instructors, Shailene McConnell Finnegan and Mary Margaret Magyar. Charlie and Felix have been dancing for 10 years with the McConnell School of Irish Dance in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Okay. Here we have 4 pictures of Neepawa Bonspiel winners. So we have the A and B winners, Team Newton, B winners, Team Forsyth. The women's B winners, Team Kalbaki, and the men's B winners, Team Paramore. Okay. Now, we don't have much time left, so I'll read Homebodies by Rita Friesen. Boyle's Carbuncles. This could be entitled Knowing When Not to Laugh, but let me explain. I was having coffee with a friend, and is quite common when you reach a certain age. The topic examined in detail was our health care system. We are thankful for every healthcare provider. Try to understand why on occasion there are lengthy waits, and remember the good old days. They were not always the good old days. We spoke of the years gone by when doctors made house calls, often to deliver babies. We spoke of folks relying on home remedies more often than going to a doctor, whereas I don't recommend biting on a clove for a toothache or placing a tea bag or poultice on a boil. These methods did seem to work, and those two are easy examples, never mind the application of coal oil to body parts. It was the reference to the boils that triggered the don't laugh memory. My father was an excellent person, an above average teacher, but a mediocre farmer. The move to the farm as an independent was challenging. The barn of the property was half log structure and half timber construction. The old part didn't have partitions, no real door, and with a low ceiling to start with, it was half filled with old manure. Not ideal, but a shelter for the sheep. There was the winter day that Dad encouraged me help in catching a ewe in the old barn among the frozen clods, and him with a boil the size of an orange right below his knee. See where this is heading? As Dad leaped and plunged at the racing sheep, me the blocking escape route, he lunged and missed and landed directly on the inflamed knee. Even now as I write this, a little smile slips out. It was to a teenager who didn't want to be working the sheep. Hilarious. Oh, it wasn't funny, but it sure looked like it was. There was that moment when you don't dare make eye contact, lest emotion betray you. And just like that, I was back to being a good daughter, ensuring that he got up and got to the house safely. Needless to say, the boil no longer needed draining. Fast forward 20 years, and I was married to Ed, who worked in hospitals between harvest and seeding, loving both occupations. He'd been troubled as a youth with boils and had learned that for him, eating a cup or 3 of raisins cured the infection. When Ed shared this information with my dad, he was skeptical, but I learned later that he had tried it with success. On the plus side, eating raisins, even in abundance, isn't detrimental to one's overall health. A handy little book compiled by the Rebecca Lodge offers remedies like for arthritis. Break 2 eggs and place in a jar. Shake, then add 1 cup vinegar and 1 cup turpentine. Shake well. Set on kitchen cupboard. Shake bottle each time you pass by, very often, for a week. Rub on joints that are aching. Yikes. Thank you, Rita, for that. All right, well, that is it for time for reading the Neepawa Banner and Press. Thank you for joining me today, and hopefully we'll see you another time. So bye for now.